Jets, I'm going to pull Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback, Roger Vick, Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all about.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick, the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D. Milner.
Dino Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold.
The New York Jets select Zach Wilson.
Future Pro Bowler, Elijah Moore.
Michael Carter, running back.
Well, all right, everybody. We did it. We are here. It is draft week, my New York Jets friends. This is what we look forward to. Pretty much since the somewhere in the middle of the season, we usually just start shifting gears and saying, hey, you know what? Who can we get? Who can we get in this year's draft? Well, we are here. Mere days away. It is 10:03 p.m. Monday night, April 21st. As we know, the first round starts on Thursday night. So we are just a couple of days away, my friends, and we're going to see what happens in real time. No more speculation. No more hypotheses and all that jazz. But here's what I'll do. Because you guys are so nice and because you guys are, have become my very, very good friends, we share secrets. We share, some naked pics from time to time, a little bit on the side. We do all kinds of things. Because of that relationship, I'm going to do something for you right now. That is what you've been really waiting for. I'm going to bring on the guy who knows it all. The very special, the very wonderful, good-looking, back from a cruise, Dom C. What's up, everybody?
I don't know where this idea that I went on a cruise.
I don't. You know what? It's funny. As I was saying, I'm like, he didn't go on a cruise.
Jeremy made mention that I went on a cruise in our group chat last week, and I was like, I don't think I went on a cruise.
Maybe that's all it took for me. Maybe that's all it was. Well, Dom, welcome back from your vacation. You did go away nonetheless. How you feeling, buddy? How's it going?
Rested, relaxed, and ready to rock with the mock.
Yeah, yes, ready to rock. He's going to rock out with his mock out, as they say. It's a very famous saying. Rock out with your mock out, everybody. Dom C is back. So you had some fun, Dom? You had a good trip with your family and all that?
I did. We had a nice time. A little scare early on. I didn't know if we were going to make the trip, not to kind of derail the situation, but my little guy ended up getting admitted to the hospital. all is well.
Really?
Spent the about 48 hours in the hospital, but released. No real issues. Everything's good. We made it on our trip, and all is well.
Well, hey, I'm very, very glad to hear that your little one is not all, look, well enough to go on the trip. Bonus. Health first, you know what I mean? Well enough, you would take that when you're scared and all that. So, look, I'm genuinely happy that all things were good there, and that you guys were able to go away and get some much needed, removal.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. That's what R&R is. Removal and run away, I think.
Restoration.
Yeah. Run away, remove yourself from the situation. That's R&R. But good for you, Dom. So here we are, buddy. This is the final mock draft, the final 10 o'clock mock.
Yeah. It kind of hurts my heart. This is my favorite. This is my favorite show of all of the whole year. And it's so short. We only do it for a couple weeks. It seems like so.
We get started in February, and it's just right. It's the end of February, March, and April. That's it. It's a short one.
Yeah.
But it's crazy too, because you look forward to it. I look forward to it, but you do the research and prepare and all the stuff like nobody else really in our world. For this, and then it's like going to Disney World. It's like Christmas morning. You do all this planning and spending and wrapping and then the kids are like, rah, 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 and it's over in 6 minutes and 14 seconds, and they're like, "Is there anything else?"
Yeah.
It's like it's it. Christmas should be a week holiday. I'm a firm believer in that. What is this one day bullshit? You know what I mean?
I agree.
All that planning. Well, Dom, I'm glad you're back. Jake, as you see here, a StreamBeaner member. Jake supporting the channel for a consecutive 12 months, Jake. Thank you so much. If you guys would like to join Jake and the other StreamBeaners and help support the channel, you can do that by hitting that join button right below the video. It is greatly appreciated. He's also welcoming you back, as I'm sure many of the other folks in the chat will.
It's been
join.
3 shows. It's been 2 Thursday thick of it's and a Monday night mock that I was gone. So it feels like an eternity, but I'm happy to be home here.
Yeah,
this is home. 10 o'clock mock is home, guys.
Right. This is it is. It's like the hub. It's the home base. There's all kinds of stuff. This one is this Dom C Central right here. And this is
I love being told how bad we are.
After they pick it.
After they pick it.
Yeah. Well, tonight I'm really hoping that there's a little uptick in the energy. The last 2 streams, it really fell off a cliff. Like people are still here, and I know, guys, I'm right there with you. Like it just, it runs its course. We just want the draft. But so the it's been limited in the votes in the polls, and it's just so key for what we do here that you guys get engaged and take the opportunity to let your voice be heard on who we should take with the next pick so we can really see what we're looking at. I hope that we muster up the gumption knowing this is the last, what do they call that? The last length of the race. We made it around. We just got one, but dig it in.
The home stretch.
The home stretch. So let's get some votes in there tonight. And let's have a good night. So Dom, what I did tonight, I didn't plan a theme, but I did throw in a few options for our friends in the chat, and this is what they look like. So I threw up a poll before the show started, and we got 59 votes in there out of what do we got in the YouTube? 116 on its way up. You got another 50 something on the X platform, but guys, get your votes in right now. So here's how it went, Dom. I just said, hey, let's choose a theme. Ride the sim out and just let the chips fall. That means trades, whatever it is, is really mopping the. No. It's in the lead at 43%. Number 2 right now is an offensive tilted draft with 38%. So that's close, everybody. Then you have trade back with the Steelers at 21, and that's 19%. And defensive tilted draft. Get this. 0%, Dom. Nobody wants it to be a defensive tilted draft.
You guys, you don't get it. By not fucking voting once, it's the kiss of death. Shamar Stewart at 7. Here he comes. You guys did it to yourselves.
That's right. I gotta get in there and vote just to. There's one. Thank you, whoever just did that. You gotta mess with the chi. You know what I mean? Let's say hello to a few people while they're voting in there, Dom. I see our good buddy Chris Byers is in the house. He's hanging out. Dakota, as his standard, came in way early. You know what I mean? He likes to jump in here, let everybody know. He sets the tone. I like to call Dakota the tone setter. So he's with us tonight. Let's see here. We got our buddy Harry's in the house. Hello to you, Harry. Flight Boys is here. Zach Hunko is with us tonight. Phil Adams,
Hunko.
Hunko Chunko Love, Zach Wilson, I think. Phil Adams is here. And this was a good question, actually. He asked, is there going to be one next week? Now, last year, just to remind us, we did do a follow-up. Whether or not we do that, I didn't even think about it. Phil's question reminded me. I'm like, oh, yeah, we did do one more after the draft. But I don't know if we'll do that this year. Dom and I will talk about it after the stream.
You guys
And,
want a 2026 mock draft already? Let's rock.
You know what would be great if I can actually find the one, because that's what we did. We did one last year to see like kind of how, what, I really should. Let me take just a few seconds and see if I can figure it out. That would be fun right now, right? Wouldn't it?
Boy.
226. Wait. 220 draft. Let's see. First draft 25. This might have been. No, this is like. No, maybe it is. All right. Wait, let me see here.
I'm curious to see the names on
Yeah. No, this is it, dude. This is what we did last year. All right, here we go, guys. You guys ready for this? So this is what we did last year, the week after. I'm pretty sure. So we got Malachi Starks up top. See, we're at pick 12, so it didn't know. I guess kind of close, right?
Look at this.
So Kenneth Grant, Oronde Gadsden the second, Gray Zabel, Carson Schwessinger, Kyle McCord, Luke Lackey, Ben Sauls, a kicker. Look at that. Pat Bryant, a wide receiver from Illinois, and Jalen Rivers, a tackle. Then we got another one, Jason Marshall, a cornerback.
I love Jason Marshall.
And then we got a second, a third, and a seventh in next year's draft. It's not too bad. Dom, if you had to give a quick grade.
Holy shit. I would grade this pretty good, man. I think you get 3 starters right from the jump in Starks, Grant, and Zabel. Schwessinger is a guy that I know you love, man.
I really do.
Yeah. And I think Jason Marshall is a phenomenal scheme fit for the Jets. You get some depth in Rivers. I mean, I don't know who picked Ben Saul as the fucking kicker. You guys,
especially look how early we did it. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's pretty good.
I like it. All right, yeah. So that's pretty good. I think you know what? I all of a sudden have a hankering to do one next week, but we'll talk about it. I got to see how it's going. My wife is really looking forward to me getting back in the house
on Mondays. Yeah.
So anyway, Chris Byers, who else is here? So Harry, I said, our buddy Bradigan's in the house. Donker Sloot's here. Look at all these guys. Dino is here. John Carmen. Yes, I love you guys. I really do. Rusty Spooner. He says, I'm going to get a lot more gray hairs this draft. 100%. Goddamn Jets, FML. Hope all is well. Green Bean, Dom C, and Gangrene fam. It is. Everything's good. I hear you. It's going to be interesting, man. We're going into this one. We really don't know what to expect, Dom. You know what I mean? We really don't. So it's going to be interesting, Rusty. I'm excited. Infrared is here. Good to see you as always. Havmo's in the house. Who else we got here? Mike Sacchetti. Yeah, I love you guys. This is great. Who else? Rover Bet is here. Gucci Finesse. Trade back is the only way. You're not alone, Gooch. ICFOS, and we'll say hello to one more. Kevin Callahan. Maybe one more. Sean, the Jets fan, is here. And we'll get these super chats going, and then we're going to start I'll end the poll to see where we are. It does look like it's going to be just ride out the mock. So, Dom, go ahead and pick your sim of choice.
Oh, my God, I forgot.
Yeah, that's okay.
I didn't have it set up.
That's all right. We didn't know what we were doing, so it's not your fault.
Which one do you want?
Whatever one you want. You know what? Maybe PFN because it's fun because it suggests trades rather than, hey, this team might want to trade with you. I mean, I don't know. Whatever you pick.
I'm at PFN. That's no problem.
All right. Jake comes back in. Thank you, Jake. He says, I'm actually sad. This and the draft stream is my favorite part of every year. Dom kills it every year.
Oh, Jake, thank you, bud. I appreciate that, man.
I agree.
I really do. I mean that sincerely and wholeheartedly. It is a joy to talk all this nerd stuff with all you guys, and you guys actually listen and appreciate it, man.
Yeah. And they have great comments and great thoughts of their own, right? Where it's not like we're not the executive director giving a seminar It's like, no, this is a fluid, active thing. But, Dom obviously does this, very intensely. So, I think it's nice to have guys, with their own thoughts, their own opinions based on their own evals and whatever that they're doing out there. But they also seem very receptive. They want to know what you think, Dom. And I think that's what's really cool about it, right? Yeah. They ask you, Dom, I've been looking at this guy. What do you think about him?
Yeah.
And that's really, really cool. So, I'm with you, Jake. Bearded's checking in with his 14-month Stream Beaner Super Chat. Thank you, Bearded, for all the support. He says, can't believe it's the end, but psyched to see how it goes. Should we try a different mock to maybe change up the results? Well, what do you think? You want to do like maybe mock database or whatever that one is? You want to like really switch it up? Do they?
Yeah, I wish I had the ESPN update because they have their own mock draft database now, but I don't pay for it.
So what does that mean? Like, so we don't get good.
Yeah, you don't get. They have their own mock draft database now, or They have their own simulator, I should say, ESPN. But yeah, I think you have to subscribe. I'm not an ESPN Plus member. All right. So what's the other one? Mock draft database.
Yeah, let's maybe do that. I think Bearded's got a good point. Let's shake it up a little bit. Have some fun, everybody. And while Dom's doing that, I'll remind you of the rules. What we do, we get to our picks, we see if there's a trade or anything, and then we will do everything by a poll. We throw a poll in the chat, and that's where you guys get the opportunity to make your opinions heard. Let us know what you think about any trades, but also the players. Dom and I will educated guess it, kind of what we think the best 4 options would be at that position. We throw it to you. We do a 3-minute timer. You guys get your votes in. Whoever wins is the pick. And then as we move later into the draft, maybe around the 3rd round or 4th round, we start to bring the timer down to 2 minutes, but the rules stay the same. But yeah, that's how it's done here on the 10 o'clock mock. The only really the only mock that I know in Jets world that you guys get to make the choices. So
that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sharing my screen as we speak.
All right.
And right here, I have the old mock draft database. And don't worry, all, I have the ad blockers on. So.
Nice. There you go. That was a problem last time. That's right.
Yeah.
And Jake says, just don't do Draft Buzz again. Yeah, we were traumatized from that shit.
Yeah.
As beautiful as that site is, you know what I mean? It really is.
Before we get going, can I pull one of these questions, one of these chats up here? I think it's a really good question.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So... Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry, Rico the pup.
Sorry, Rico.
You're important too, but Mark is Sacchetti. Sorry if I mispronounced that. A question: how far off of a talent drop is Terrence Ferguson from T. Warren? I think this is a good question. I was just talking to Ryan because we did our last pre-draft show before, and we went over my final mock draft that I did. I put out for my publication. I put it out on Twitter for anyone that follows me. And I chose Tyler Warren at number 1. Now, Membu was off the board, but as I was telling Ryan, I don't think that would have swayed my choice. I think I still go Tyler Warren. And my reasoning goes to this question. Although I really, really like Terrence Ferguson, I mean, GreenBean will tell you I've been a big fan of his for a while, before the Senior Bowl, definitely at the Senior Bowl. He was one of the guys that I wanted to grab and talk to, which I did, this, that, and the other thing. But when you get from Warren and Loveland, who I have pretty close, I think they're 1A and 1B. But I think that next tier of guys, although they're good players, the Fergusons of the world, the Mason Taylors, the Gunnar Helms, the Harold Fannons. I think that there's a real big tier break in terms of guys that you can come in and call your tight end 1 to guys that you hope can develop and possibly become a tight end 1. I think with Warner Loveland, you got plug and play starters. I think if you wait on the other guys, you got to hope that they develop into that. And then you're going into the season with a guy who might not give you the kind of production that a tight end one gives you. So you're then going to rely on the Ruckerts and the Stone Smarts of the world. And to me, that's a little unsettling, especially when our wide receiver room is not a strength, to say the least.
It's not complete, right?
Yeah. So
definitely not complete.
That's why I lean now towards I'm ready to write it in stone, chisel it in stone that if he's on the board, my selection would be Tyler Warren.
Right. Okay. You've made your choice.
I've made my choice.
I love it. I love it. But so your bottom line, though, how far off? Like, so where is he?
Who?
Terrence Ferguson. Like, what round? I'd say.
Well, I mean, what round he's?
Yeah, like even if you take Tyler Warren too, like I'm a little bit different than the original question, but you take Tyler Warren, but you're considering double dipping. Where's Terrence Ferguson? Where are you comfortable?
I think you have to take him in round 3 if you want him at all. I think you have to take him in round 3 if you want him at all. I don't think he's going to get out of the top 75 picks.
Gotcha.
So,
well, there you go. All right, one more, and then we're going to get this started. Jake checking back in. He says, I think we're dumb if we can't get a right tackle in round 2. I think the drop-off at tight end is steep after the first 2 guys. How do you feel about that tackle? Do you agree, like, in round 2, we should be grabbing a tackle?
Well, again, similar to what I just said, Jake kind of echoed my sentiment. I think that the drop-off from the top tier of tight ends to the next tier is a lot bigger than the drop off from the top tier of tackles to the next tier. I think you can find starting caliber tackle in this draft class in rounds 2 and 3. I don't know if any of the guys, whether you take them at 7 or you take them at 73, are Pro Bowl caliber guys. I just think that the tackle class as a whole is a little bit weaker, which is another reason why I'm ready to plant my flag in Tyler Warren at 7. Gotcha.
All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. So we're going to get this thing started.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's just see it got a little closer, but the official word from the chat is, come on, I ended you. We got 114 votes. Respectable. We're going to just ride the sim. We're going to see where it goes. No official, forced trade. We're not trading for Olave, or we're not trading Quinnen Williams. We're not doing any of that tonight. We're just going to go into the draft, and we're going to see where it lands, and we're going to make our picks and so forth. So there you go, Dom. That's how we're going to do it. I'm ready to start if you are, my friend.
I am. I will hit the start button. And again, we haven't used mock draft database in a while. I don't know what the sim's going to bring us. Could get crazy.
Could get nuts.
Saying, has nothing to do with me or GreenBean, guys. Remember that. And here we go.
It's begun. Look how fast. All right. Okay. Oh, look, we have a trade offer.
And it's garbage.
Well, don't reject it just yet.
Offer. I'm not.
Why is it not good?
They want number 7 overall to drop down to 77.
Oh, they're nuts.
And
reject it.
Yeah.
You're nuts.
Yeah. And as I told you guys, it got a little crazy because
we scroll back. Let's see who went off the board.
I don't know how to scroll on this one here.
Can you just go up top and like scroll to the left? Like go where the players are? Yeah, and like do the thing. Are you using a mouse or your trackpad?
No, my mouse. Let's see the trackpad. There we go. Okay, so when Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, where it started good, Jalen Walker went 3, Will Campbell went 4. So it's not crazy with the other idea that Abdul Carter's still on the board, which he won't be.
Well, interestingly, just like we talked about a couple times with the Jaguars in 2022, they took Walker first overall with Aiden Hutchinson, Thibodeau, JJ, Karloff. All the guys were still there, and they took Walker. So you never know.
Yeah, GreenBean. I think
I hear you.
Outside of the Jalen Walker at 3 instead of Abdul Carter, I don't think that this is crazy. Like if you plugged Abdul Carter into the Giants right here, I wouldn't be shocked if it's very realistic, except for the fact that Abdul Carter's still on the board.
Right.
So I think I'm going to suggest this to you, GreenBean. When we put our things up to vote here, we disregard Abdul Carter.
No, he's on the board. Got to do it, Dom. I hear you, but you never know. Just like, remember the year Leonard Williams, he was the consensus best player in the draft, and he slid to 6. He wasn't supposed to. He was being talked first 2 picks. He's not making it out of the top 3, and he was sitting there at 6 when guys like Kevin White and some others went earlier than they were supposed to.
I don't know if we should do the I wouldn't suggest doing the last one with an Abdul Carter at 7. At least let's offer a trade. Maybe somebody wants to trade up for Abdul Carter.
All right, let's see what we got.
Well, we can. We were only offered one, but we can offer one. We can offer one.
How do we offer a trade here? Let's go. Dom.
Easy. Let's have Chicago come up. We'll slide down a little bit. What do you think?
Want Genty, so we're gonna slide back a few spots, and we'll just look for a second, right? Going back to
a third. I think a third is more than suffice.
Oh, they're at 10. Okay, yeah. All right.
They're saying it's very heavily swayed towards the Bears. Well, we'll take 2/3 then. How's that? They're saying it's not fair. Well, we're taking 26 picks. That doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect this mock. In essence, it's
we got to get something for this mock.
Oh, you know why? Because I did it wrong.
Yeah, you gave them a 1/3.
Yeah, let me. Yeah,
oh, you got to calm down over there.
I apologize. Let me.
All right.
Let me fix that here.
Let's see what we got.
1 and 10 and 72 for 7. Yeah, it's not enough.
So we're not giving them enough?
We're not giving them enough.
That's bullshit. Oh, look at all that stuff, though. Why do you got... Yeah, you got to get those off.
It won't let me. Hang on. Let's try this.
A little crazy.
It won't let me take them off. Let's try this. So it's a boom. And then you go a boom.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's how you do it. You got to clean that slate.
There we go. Yeah. See, nice and clean. 3, 72 and 10 for 7. You want to pull the trigger?
Yeah, let's try to do it. Let's see if we can bounce back. What'd they say?
They still didn't take Abdul Carter.
Yeah, that's what happens. All right, here we go.
They took Mike Green, Tet McMillan.
See, they like Jalen Walker. So this one likes Jalen Walker and Mike Green more than Carter. Everybody else is pretty realistic, though. Like, there goes Membo. There goes McMillan. Who was the one before that?
Mike Green.
So Mike Green. Okay. All right. So here we go. Who are we throwing up here? Are we even dancing with Shedeur Sanders? No.
GreenBean, I'm lost at this one. I think
but you can't. I know, but don't get hung up on it.
Okay, so I would put these top 4 then. All Carter, right, Genty, Sanders, and Warren. Carter, Genty, Sanders, and Warren, baby.
All right, here we go. We got Abdul Carter, Ashton Genty. I'm sorry, who's the next one?
Tyler
Warren. Let's see if we could still see if our tight end love reigns in this one. I don't know if you want to put Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, I guess we gotta. Let's see if these guys want the quarterback. Should I spell Shedeur right, Dom? That's the big question here.
Probably not.
I think I did all right. Yeah, all right. I did it close. It was all right, guys. The poll is up. And I am going to put the timer on, and let's do this thing. So our first pick of our final mock is up. Here we go. 3 minutes, and that's what we get. Look at Tyler Warren crushing it.
You know why, GreenBean? You know why?
Why?
Because they know. The chat knows. They're not.
See, this is what I watch. Like, look, I watch Dom and Tigo, or Ryan and Tigo, and I watch you and Dom, or you and Ryan, and you guys get too caught up. You get stuck in the weeds. Like, it is what it is. And then we say that it's like when we have the trades. A lot of time I hear like, it's not really real. Like, nah, fuck it, man. Dude, the draft is a crazy place. Every single year, shit happens that you just don't understand. You go, really? Why did they take him? Or how did they pass on that guy? A lot of the times through the years, it's been us. In real life, wait, we passed on Warren Sapp or whatever it might be. It happens all the time. Just because we think something. Look, what about Nakobe Dean just a couple years ago? He was talked about. Now, we found out that he had a little bit of an injury that didn't really make it out into the public domain quite as detailed as maybe the teams got. But we were blown away that he made it out of the first round. Remember that?
Yeah.
It happens. It happens every single year. Now, do I think it? No, it's unlikely, of course. But we can't get caught in that.
You're right.
Especially when our Jets fans don't take him and he slides to 11, Dom. You see how it's going to go? Last year, the Falcons taking Penix fucking blew the way. Everybody's like, what? They just gave $270 million to fucking Kirk Cousins. And
the more you're talking, the lower Abdul Carter's percentage is going, GreenBean. You ain't selling these Jets fans.
No, I'm just trying to keep it real. I had to undo what you did. That's what happened. Dom's like, this will never happen. It's guaranteed. We can't even put him on our poll. It's such a lock. And look at this. It's madness, chaos. While we're talking here, Bearded jumping back in, Dom. I'm leaning Warren because we have two edges already. How dare you use the 7th overall pick for a position that we already have two starters? I hear you. See?
So
there's logic.
Let's talk about that though, Bearded. Very the antithesis of what I was saying in this, fake scenario. But we have two starting edges, but do we? Is the question.
What do you?
We don't know what
talking about.
We don't know what Jermaine Johnson is coming back from the Achilles.
Very interesting.
We don't know if Will McDonald's going to be a true 3-down player in this scheme because Wilkes and AG like those. If history repeats himself, they like bigger defensive ends.
Yeah. So you just don't know, everybody. I'm ending the poll, and guess what happened?
Shedeur Sanders.
Dom lost. It's Dom's guy, though. His official pick. Warren wins. Tyler Warren steals the show. And hey, if that happened, it really is. It would be almost a reproduction of the co-tight Kyle Brady, Warren Sapp situation. You got Abdul Carter sitting there. All the Dom C's of the world are like, oh, my God, I can't believe it. And they take the tight end. You know what I mean?
Tyler Warren, welcome to the Jets. A+. See?
There you
Mock
go.
draft
Look
database
at that. Has he gone off the board yet? Abdul Carter, they found a video.
Yeah, him with a gas mask on smoking weed.
He's burning ants with a magnifying glass. They're like, no. We
got 4 trade offers here, GreenBean.
Ooh, let's talk about them, Dom.
All right, well, Green Bay wants us to move out of 42, but they'll give us 3 picks next year. They can go kick rocks. I'm rejecting.
Where do they want us to go?
Next year.
They don't want anything. They just want to take it.
They just want to take it and said, "Go, you guys can pick next year. You're good."
Oh,
Houston.
Very interesting.
Houston. This is an interesting one. This one to me is a little bit more realistic. The 7th and the 2026 don't mean anything, but I bet you if you looked up the trade value, going down from 42 to 58 would probably equal a 3rd rounder.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now. So wait, what, just tell me. So we're at 42. Where were they?
58.
So they're at 58. The chart says that 58 is worth 320, Dom. 442 is worth 480. So that leaves us $160.
But then you're adding 89.
So what's 89 here? That's the big question. 89 is only worth 145. So that I think it's perfect. You throw in a 7th, you throw in next year's 6th to kind of I think we're right there. That's a very realistic trade.
Okay, so I'll hold that one.
Uh-huh.
Buffalo wants us to go down from 42 to 56. That's 14 spots, and they'll give us a 5th. I think the value of the Texans is better.
So say that one again, real quick.
56 and 173 for 42.
So they want 56 and 143, 173.
56 and 173 coming to us, 42 going to them.
And the Texans was 58.
58 and 89. And then the 7th and all that stuff.
Okay. Now, what's the next trade? It was just those three. Oh, we got
this one's no
Lions.
Good. 60. We go down 18 spots and only get a 7th and a 4th rounder next year. Yeah.
Okay, so it's between the Bills and the Texans, it looks like, Dom C.
I think the Bills is the Texans is a lot better value. If you're considering a trade, I think that's the one. It's either trade or no trade. Trade with the Texans or no trade. That's what I would say.
All right,
but before we do that.
Oh, I put it up. You don't want me to put it up?
No. That's fine. But let's look at the board. Maybe we don't want to trade at all.
Well, I got no trade as an option, everybody. So hold your votes. Let's see what Dom pulls up on who's on the board. Is that
Gray Zabel still on the board? Jackson Dart, Maxwell Harrison, Donovan Jackson, Jalen Milroe, Mason Taylor, who we just drafted tight end we probably don't need. Then you got the Ariante Urseries, Higgins, Alexanders, the normal second-round guys.
Right, Schwessinger.
The interesting ones are Gray Zabel and Donovan Jackson. I think they're both first-round talents that happen to slip in this. Now, this, I believe, will happen, where guys that we were expecting to go in the first round will seep into round 2. Maybe not these two guys in particular, but guys will slip. So the question is, do you like Gray Zabel and Donovan Jackson enough to not take an extra third-round pick?
That's right. So, yeah, there you go. That's what we're looking at here. Do you like the board enough? You say not enough for me. Or are you saying, hey, I think I can slide back a few spots here, pick up that third, and I'm very confident that I can get one of the guys I like. That's what we're looking at here. Matthew Smith checking in to remind us, Aaron Rodgers slid to 25, everybody. He was widely considered to be the number 1 pick in that draft and slid to 25. Wacky doodle stuff happens all the time, baby.
Yeah. So just for those who are asking, Xavier Watts is the highest rated safety. Ariante Ursery is the highest rated tackle, and the board looks like a lot of tackles went.
Yeah, I might go Makuba over Watts.
Really? Yeah,
I might.
I could see that. I could see that. I'd probably pass on both of them if I'm being honest. I like myself Kevin Winston. I like big.
How do you feel about his injury?
How do I feel, or how do the Jets feel about it, or the NFL?
Well, I'm not talking
to
the Jets, so I'm talking about Dom C.
I'm willing to roll the dice with it because I think, maybe it would be a little rich at 2 if you're not fully sure he's back to 100%. But if he's back, he's a top 20 talent in the class. So, but even without Winston, give me Jonas Sanker, in round 4. I like those physical safeties. I think that is what would complement Andre Sisco really, really well.
All right, so let's see. We're just about done with this trade. We got 61 votes. It's respectable. Let's get a few more in there because it's close between the Texans and the no trade option. So I'm going to let's give it 20 more seconds here. Okay, here we go. 20 seconds, 67 votes. Somehow it went back to 65. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Somebody
69. Left. I'm impartial. I'll go either way. Right now, the Texans have a slight lead. Here we go. It's over. All right, Dom, I'm ending the poll. 73 votes, it looks like. And the Texans trade it is, Dom C. We're going to slide back a few spots here.
All right. We're taking the 7th and the 6th and everything next year? We're just going to accept it as is?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck
That's
it.
pretty good. It's pretty good value right there.
Yeah, they traded up for Gray Zabel.
Gray Zabel, look at this. I like that. It was like they came up for it was realistic. You know, sometimes when they trade up, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You're like, really? You traded up for him, huh?
Yeah. So here we are at pick 58, guys.
Dom C, the Jake checking back in said, this is the last Dom. Let's talk about this lecture. I'm getting sad. The actual season, I'm usually out by week 4. Yeah. Yep, that's the last time. All right, everybody, let's talk about this for a moment.
Yeah.
I love it.
Slow your roll, guys. Let's talk about this. All right, let's talk about pick 58, GreenBean.
Let's talk about pick 58.
All right, so the top of the board here, we're going to eliminate Mason Taylor. We already took Taylor. We already took Tyler Warren, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think we really are going to consider Carson Schlesinger.
Yeah, linebacker in the second.
Yeah,
I don't think so either.
We're already paying Sherwood. I think that I'm not saying void the linebacker room completely, but you're paying Sherwood $15 million.
Yeah, for a second round pick. Yeah, I'm with it.
You're having Quincy, and then you got Jamin Davis, who everyone forgets about.
Yep, we forget about him. Him and Federian.
Exactly.
We're not even. I love that we're not talking about him.
Yeah. So I'm gonna eliminate
Xavier Watts though. Xavier Watts, Makuba.
Well, I think Makuba's off the board. Yeah, somebody took Makuba. So you got Watts as the highest rated safety.
We could do Kevin Winston though.
No. Put Watts up there. I mean, he's the highest. He's the higher ranked one. That's fine. Let's put Alfred Collins. There's your big fatty.
Friend. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I'd say Jaden Higgins or Jack Besh, whichever one you want to do. I'll leave that one up to you. But we'll attack.
Who is it? I'm sorry.
Either Jaden Higgins or Jack Besh.
Oh, we'll go with Higgins all day.
Okay. And let's look at the edge. Yeah, the edge room, there's nothing of real value there. Interior, you probably don't want to go in.
Let's look at the tackles. Let's see what's floating around.
Ariante Ursery. There you go.
We'll put Ursery up there. Here he is. I don't know how to spell this guy's name.
Ersery.
No, that's the easy part, Dom. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're going to spell Ariante? Who cares?
Ariante Ursery. It's all about details, Tom. All right. Ursery, and he is a offensive tackle. All right, guys, this is a nice little group here.
This one will be interesting. Yeah. I think this is the one that'll get split like the most. Like it's going to be, there's not going to be a solid winner here. So Watts, Collins, Higgins, Ursery. Who do I want to vote for?
Yeah, get your vote in, Dom.
I'm gonna GreenBean. I'm gonna vote.
So let's see. I had another super chat here from Dano's checking in from the Danger Zone. Everybody,
I love Dano, man. If you guys don't watch or follow Dano over on the YouTube channel, the Danger Zone, go give him some love, man. Great dude, great content.
And he's one of us. He's been hanging out in the chats for years, man. He's one of us. Mm-hmm. So here he says, thanks for your work this offseason, brothers. As a viewer, first and foremost, I appreciate your work in providing us this little oasis. Well, you are very welcome. Truth be told, Dom and I love this. So we're grateful that you guys hang out with us. If there was only 4 of you in here, my oomph might deteriorate. You know what I mean? I don't know, Dom. We had 4 people last week. You know what I mean? Fucking staying up till midnight shit. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for the words, but thank you as well. Danger Zone. All right. How much is left on the timer here?
You tell me.
1 minute and 38.
How many votes we got? We got 58 so far. 63. 63 votes.
63 votes. Come on, guys. Get your votes in. We got 203 on YouTube that can vote. We got another, what is that, 122 on X tonight?
Yeah. Dave from New Brunswick with a nice little comment here. I like the rationale. I like the thought process. I just don't think they can feed Garrett, Warren, Brees, and Higgins. It's a fair point, Dave. And I kind of said similar things. Like, I don't know how important a wide receiver 2 is early going to be for the Jets.
I'll tell you why. No, I like that. I like that comment is brought up But here's what I'll tell you. If you want Garrett Wilson to eat, you had better fucking give them a reason to cover somebody else than Garrett Wilson. So that's what I'll say.
And to that point, though, if you want Garrett, how much cooking do you think Justin Fields is going to be doing, right?
Oh, man. They're going to get him right. He's going to be cooking.
Okay.
He loves Garrett Wilson. That's the thing. He loves Garrett Wilson. We know this. So we got to make it so Garrett Wilson is not double and triple covered with safety help over the top. We got to make it so it's realistic and it's not a super dangerous throw. You can't have Garrett Wilson be the only viable receiver out there. Look, we don't know what Corley is. I have made my case. I'm still in his corner. I think, we can't pass judgment based on the opinions of this previous regime.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, look, you got Reynolds, you got that other guy, you got
Johnson.
And you got Irv Charles running around, Xavier Gibson. I mean, we need it. We need a wide receiver, and I want one bad. But let's see what they did. I'm ending the poll. Looks like the offensive tackle, Dave from New Brunswick's thoughts reign supreme. Ursery is the pick over Higgins and Watts.
I'm surprised Collins didn't get as much love. I got to be honest with you, especially with your infatuation with the fatties. I thought that would kind of spew off into the chat. But
my philosophy is fatties later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do love Alfred Collins, though. I'll tell you what, I really like a lot of the defensive tackles in this class and the ones that are going to go high. I love Mason Graham. I love Collins. I love Grant. I love what's that? Fucking Ohio State. Why can't he's my favorite one? Why can't I remember his name? Yeah. Like I love them. You know what I mean? I think they're badasses. But hey, up top, you got to do your work. So where are we?
We're in round 3, so there's no more trades.
We got a couple thirds though, don't we, Dom?
We do. We got 2/3 back to back, nonetheless. We got 2 picks here. So GreenBean, to speed this up, I think we should take the top 2.
Oh no, not in the third. Not yet. Not yet, Dom. I hear you.
All right. Well, I am going to reject.
Are they really back to back? What
72 and 73? Yeah.
All right, then we can do that. Yeah. Okay. My bad.
Yeah, but we're not taking any more trades.
Nope.
Carolina's trade sucked. Oh, here's the one. Here's the rant. Here, you give us your 3rd round pick. We'll give you our whole draft next year.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Oh my God. Yeah, it's hard to pass on that one. You go, hey, I'm sorry, I got to do it.
Yeah. So all right,
throw in. Who was that? The Rams.
Yeah. So here we go, guys. We got Tyler Warren and we got Ariante Ursery, and Mock Draft Database loves you so far. They're giving you A+ around the board.
Yeah.
The top of oh my God, Jaden Higgins is still on the board.
Oh my God. Okay. So we'll throw him up there, wide receiver.
Alfred Collins still on the board.
Wow.
This might be the best draft of all time.
All right. So let's see what else. So let's look at some safeties. Kevin Winston is there. Let's throw him up there.
Yeah.
And let's take a look. We got a defensive tackle. We got our safety. We got a wide receiver.
Let's look at the edge. There's still no edge.
Yeah,
that
was just
the edge
cornerbacks, edges, maybe interior. I mean, we're
linebackers. Demetrius Knight's there.
Oh, we got our tackle. All right.
Demetrius Knight's there. I know you like him a lot.
I do.
Interior, Tate Rowledge is still there. I think that'd be phenomenal.
Let's do that because I don't think. I mean, we could put Demetrius Knight up there. It's like it's a guaranteed not vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Ratledge, everybody. Okay. Now, if I could just spell it. All right, guys, the poll is up now. We'll take just so we know who we're voting for or what we're voting for here. The top 2 are going to be picks 72 and 73. Okay, why put a whole freshie up there? So that's the way this is going to go. So the top 2 are going to be our next 2 picks. We have back-to-back picks. So the poll is up. The timer has begun. And let's get to Jake. Jake says, Sanker hype, draft him for GreenBean. There you go. Love Jonas Sanker.
He's real. It's Jonas Sanker.
I don't believe that.
He is. He is real legitimate It reminds me a lot of. Do you remember last year? I mean, I know me and you loved him. Do you remember Malik Mustafa from Wake Forest?
Sure do.
He's a phenomenal, just like really, really physical safety. He ended up going a lot later. Ended up going like round 4 or 5, and ended up the starter in San Francisco. Now they got rid of Hufanga for him. They said, all right, he'll stay, and Hufanga can go. I think Jonas Sanker is on that trajectory. Like, team's going to draft him in day 3, and they're going to realize after year 1 that, oh yeah, this older, overpaid safety, you can go. I got Jonas Sanker.
Right. Yep. This is our guy. Ricky from New York. Good to see you, Ricky. He's right here. He says, hey, we should just do Besh and Kyle Williams at 72, 73, back-to-back weapons. Well, maybe you can get a weapon. Neither one of those guys are on the poll, but you can grab one nonetheless.
You can.
There you go. And it's funny because I like both of those guys too. How do you are you on the Kyle Williams trade? There are some really passionate Kyle Williams people out there.
Yeah, so I think Kyle Williams is really good. I actually took him in my final "What Would Dom C Do" mock draft. He was my pick at 73. I like the idea of having a Garrett Wilson light playing next to Garrett Wilson, right? Short area quickness, speed for days, can separate, yards after the catch. Kyle Williams can offer you all that. It's a little bit small. I think he might end up being more dominant in the slot at the next level, but that's fine because the Jets need one of those too, right? Now you have him and Malachi Corley. You battle it out. You can put them both on the field together. You can force Malachi Corley his reps if you still think that he's just a gadget guy, or you can have Kyle Williams, on one side, Garrett Wilson at the X, Kyle Williams at the Z, and Malachi Corley on the field. Then you get 3 guys who are ridiculously quick and who all can create with the ball in their hands. Like, to me, it's a great match.
Hey,
I actually liken the idea. I'm really, really warming to the idea of a receiver of that type. Another really twitchy, short area quickness
work the
guy.
center of the field for us.
Yeah, more so than your big Jaden Higgins types.
I gotta tell you, I actually am doing that more this year than most.
Yeah.
With Kyle Williams, Luther Burden, there's a few more.
Emeka Buka.
I might be in that pocket. Now, listen, Dom, I'm going to say something before we end this poll. Higgins destroyed everybody in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should do another poll. I know we just said it. We'll keep those 3 guys up here, but Ricky's comment, and then I see a couple comments in there. Maybe we throw, if Kyle Williams is up there, we throw him. Let's see if they do want to do 2 wide receivers. It just feels like this is such a slaughter. I don't feel like the number 2 is really a number 2. You know what I mean?
Tate Ratledge. No Tate Ratledge.
Nothing.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
fine.
Gonna end this one, but we'll do another poll.
All right, but we are taking Higgins, right?
We are taking Higgins.
Oh, God. Another A+ here.
All right. So let's see. Is Kyle Williams up there?
Let's see. He is.
All right. So we'll do Alfred Collins, defensive tackle.
We'll do Kevin Winston.
Yep. We'll do that. Kevin Winston here. We'll add
Kyle Williams.
Yep. Safety. We'll add Kyle Williams. Even though, this is
crazy. You know what's crazy about this, GreenBean?
What's that?
Is the 72 pick we got from Chicago from that small trade down in round 1. We still have pick 89 from the Texans trade. So we have another 3rd rounder coming, guys.
Oh, look at us.
Look at all these picks.
So I'm going to do a 3-banger for this one.
6, 7, 8 more picks.
I'm going to do a 3-banger. Collins, Winston, Williams coming your way right now. I'm starting the poll. We'll change the 3-minute to 2-minute from the 4th round on. We're going to keep this 3-minute going. Make sure all you guys get your votes in. So wouldn't that be something, everybody? You get into the 3rd round. We did some work, so you got a couple extra thirds. You got a little bit of what we like to call flexibility, Dom. And maybe you do decide, let me bring in 2 wide receivers right now. Maybe.
And you know what else it shows here, GreenBean? What have what have we all been saying from the get-go when we really started diving into this draft class? The meat and potatoes of this draft is really from pick 25 to pick 100. That's where the value is. Look, we have 72, 73, 89, and look at these guys that are still on the board.
Right. Oh,
forget about Jaden Higgins falling in here, but just look at the wide receivers, right? Jack Best, Jalen Royal, Kyle Williams, Savion Williams. Look at the interior. You got Ratledge, Marcus Bowe. Look at the quarterback. Maybe not the quarterbacks, but even if you wanted a tight end, Arroyo or Ferguson or Helm,
they're all there.
Linebackers, Chris Paul, Demetrius Knight. This is where the value is. Guys.
They're all there.
This is where the value is in this draft class.
Interesting. Yep. And that's why if the Jets can position themselves, if you can move back a little bit, grabbing that extra second, third round pick is going to be really what you want. It's the sweet spot of this draft. Yeah. You've been saying it since the very, very beginning, man.
Yep.
I love it.
Now, I don't really necessarily think the Jets are going to trade out of 7. I don't think that there's going to be somebody that wants to trade up. I think they're going to probably sit and take the best of what's available to them.
Right.
But round 2 is
maybe slide back in round 2.
Definitely a spot I could think them sliding down and gaining an extra third or an extra 2 fourths or something like that. I absolutely think.
I like it.
That's in the cards.
I like it. All right, Harley checking in real quick while we're waiting. Evening, Dom and Bean. Thoughts on the Toledo defensive tackle?
Darius Alexander.
Boy. Yeah.
That's my arguably my favorite defensive player in this entire class. Him and Kevin Winston are probably right up there. There's not much that Darius Alexander can't do. The only knock on him, he's a 6th-year senior. He's already 24. I know the old regime didn't hesitate on taking older prospects. Don't know what the new regime thinks. But, man, you get a guy that can line up at 1 tech, 3 tech, 5 tech, wide 7, or wide 9, who is a former offensive lineman, who understands how to set up offensive linemen, has maybe the best hands out of all the defensive linemen in this entire draft class. Darius Alexander's a home run for me.
Gotta love it. And I think I just saw Leger Douzable chose him in his official mock this week. So let me end this poll. See what we did. Alfred Collins, the defensive tackle. And I happen to see, I'll jump a little bit here. Ablab checking in. Wait, I'm on the wrong page. Here it is. Ablab checking in and says defensive tackle, damn it. And what happens? Alfred Collins is the pick with a margin. Let's see what this margin is. 45% of the entire vote went to the defensive tackle, Ablab.
Wow.
So there you go. Kevin Winston came in with 28%, and then Kyle Williams with 26%. Look, we just got Jaden Higgins right before it. So I get it. Some love, but I think it was the right pick. Alfred Collins coming aboard, and we got pick 89 coming up, everybody.
And we got 4 A+, guys.
Look at us.
4 A+.
Unbelievable.
And look at this, guys. This is crazy. GreenBean. I would take these 4 guys right here. Or at least 3 of them. You don't want to split it between Besh and Ayumaner.
We didn't get a safety yet, though. We got to add a safety.
Winston's still on the board.
All right, so here we go. And then I see a couple super chats. I'll get right to them after
you know what, GreenBean? I gotta take a bio break. So you want to do the super chats?
Well, let's get the poll started first, just so you can move around. So we could put Besh up there.
You could put Besh up there. I would put Marcus Bowe up there. Who, guys, if you don't know Marcus Bowe, everyone talks about Membu and how good he is in space and how well he moves. Marcus Bowe is better. The downside to Bowe is only 300 pounds, right? And at 6'4", 300 pounds, he just doesn't have, some don't think that he doesn't have enough sand in the pants to really last with his anchor at tackle. They think he might move into guard. They actually think he could be an all-pro center as well. But he gives you versatility. So this is a guy that you can put him out there and challenge with Ursery and say, hey, you guys are going to battle it out for right tackle, and the loser is going to be our pipeline guard for next year.
All right, I love it. Get me into the tight end room.
We have a tight end. You want another one?
Yeah, Tyler Warren. Yeah, let's go. Where are we? We're in the fucking third. This is technically, we got 3/3 in this draft. Let's see what we got here.
Gunnar Helm?
Gunnar Helm is the guy.
Cornerbacks. There's good cornerbacks here too, GreenBean. Oh, edge rushers. We can go into the edge rusher room now too.
You taking my tight end off? All right, what do you got?
No, you can take that. You can put tight end too. Cornerbacks. I mean, I love Noel Williams. I think he's a perfect fit for the Jets. He's a press man. He's a press man cover corner. Long, tall, plays physical. He's got the same kind of prototype and build as Sauce Gardner.
All right, I love it. So there it goes. So here, go take your bio break.
Yep.
The poll is up. The timer has begun. Get your votes in, everybody. We'll get to this comment from Jake. Thank you, Ablab. Says, remember when we used to get Kevin Winston in round 5 every draft? Dom was way ahead of the TV talking heads on that guy. Was he the shit kicker? That is the shit kicker. Remember that when O'Leary was with us? Dom was talking about Kevin Winston being the shit kicker. Yeah, he's way ahead, dude. That's the thing. It takes these guys sometimes, they go through their cycles and the whole thing. It takes them a long time to get to where Dom is. Dom's way ahead of this stuff. I love it. So you see, I'm just glad you see it, Jake. We got another Jake checking in. Jake Assman checking in to hang out with us. What's up, Jake? He says, just got home from a disappointing Knicks playoff loss, and the thing I need to help the pain is some Dom C and GreenBean mock draft greatness. Nothing better. Well, I'm sorry you had to do look, there's nothing worse than walking out of the arena, out of the stadium after a loss. There's nothing worse. You know what I mean? It's the fucking worst, isn't it? So I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Jake. There's no sugar for it. But I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Hopefully we can add a little something to the flavor of your evening on the positive side of things here. But glad you're hanging out with us, buddy. Ricky from New York checking back in says, Dom, I'll make sure he sees this. Dom, I watched 9 hours of film on my favorite prospect. Next day, Harold Perkins went back to school. Isn't that the best? That's not quite as bad as walking out of your stadium or arena when your team loses. But we do that all the time. We fall in love with somebody and then you find out they're going back to school. So I'm right there with you, Ricky. That shit sucks. But who do we got? So let me see here. We got 56 seconds left. You got 68 votes, respectable, but not even half have voted. So let's get some votes in here, guys. Kevin Winston right now is ahead. If you're hoping they grab an interior offensive lineman or a second wide receiver or a cornerback, you are in need of the vote. That's what's got to happen. If you want any of those other guys to get in there, if you want to make sure we grab our safety, then you got to vote too. Get in there. Got a few more votes coming in. This is fun. This is the last time we'll do this, guys. So gather up, muster it up, the gumption to click the vote button, everybody. How much time we got? 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and it is a wrap. It is going to be Kevin Winston, Dom. We got ourselves a safety in Kevin Winston.
Hey.
Yeah, so go ahead and pick him. And there's a comment here from Ricky, New York, talking to you directly.
I'm sorry, who am I taking? Who won?
Kevin Winston won.
This is a phenomenal draft so far. I mean, what did he say? Ricky, New York, my guy. Dom, I watched 9 hours of film on my favorite prospect. Next day, Harold Perkins went back to school.
Isn't that the best?
I did the same. Not my favorite prospect, but one of the first guys I really, really dove into this year was Carson Beck. I wrote the longest, the most thorough scouting report I've ever written on a guy. He fucking went back to school.
Yep. I'm telling you, it's the worst. Not as bad as Jake Assman's experience of going to the Garden and watching the Knicks lose in the playoffs. That's worse. But right behind it is what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? You dig in, you're like, I love this guy. He's like, I'm going to go back to school. You're like, all right, well, I got some notes on him for next year. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, so let me get to a couple more. Oh, Ablab checking back in. He came in and said, defensive tackle, damn it. And it happened. So now he comes in and says, milk thumbs, damn it. Mwah, 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 mwah. And maybe that'll happen too. How many milk thumbs we got here? I'm looking at 70. Let me refresh. For some reason, my milk thumbs don't refresh. We got 84 out of 220. Let's support the channel, everybody. Get some milk thumbs. Smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, that'd be great too. We would appreciate it. Don't forget to support the great Dom C as well. His link to his channel and Twitter are at the top of the description of the video. You could send some love. Thank you, Ablab. Getting it done tonight, buddy. Ron Weiss checking in. Loving the finale tonight. You guys said there might be too many mouths to feed with the ball. If we trade Brees, we can grab Kyle Manungai later. Also, who picked Dart in your draft here? All right.
Yeah,
so, Ron, first, thank you, buddy. I'm glad you're here. I love Ron Weiss. He's a good man. And so thank you. But I don't want to trade Brees. There's plenty of ball to go around. I always love that. It's like the concern if we get a good offensive coordinator, Jets fans get all nuts. Oh my God, he's going to get hired as a head coach. Can we fucking put an offense on the field worth, being proud of before we start being scared that there's somebody's going to poach them? Like, let's not worry about, let's have too many mouths for a little while. You know what I mean? I'm totally fine with having too many mouths. And then we got to see if we got a quarterback that can get them to those mouths. Once we do that, then we can talk about our concerns. But what do you think about Kyle Manungai?
Oh, man. Kyle Manungai, the pride of Rutgers University. Hell of a college running back. I don't see a big future for him, if I'm being honest, in the NFL. He's a little too plodding for me. Lacks that second gear. Was the Rutgers workhorse, but man, I don't know if he's got the chops that are going to be more than an early down kind of or a goal line kind of guy at the next level.
Oh, there you go. So you see that, Ron?
He'll get drafted, but he's a day 3 guy.
So Ron wants to dump our Brees Hall and bring in a turd sandwich. No, no, Ron. All right, Dave, what pick are we at here? Is this 104?
We're at 110. We're in round 4.
110. All right.
And I got to be honest with you. I mean, this board is ridiculous. Here's who's still on the board. Jared Wilson, the best center in the draft, and this is the area where he'll go. Ozzie Trapillo, Kyle Williams, Jacob Parrish, Ashton Gelati, Chris Paul, Gunnar Helm, Billy Bowman. I mean, Jonas Sanker.
All right. Let's calm down, everybody. All right, let's stop fucking freaking out, everybody. We got to bring this back. We can dial it back. Danny Stutzman up there. I think it's time to start entertaining some linebackers.
No, Danny Stutzman is not. Chris Paul.
All right, we'll throw Chris Paul up there.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. We just drafted Ursary not too long ago. You want to add Ozzie Trapillo? Is this too much? Did we ever get the interior? No, we didn't get our interior guy.
No, we didn't. And let's see who's on the board here. Jared Wilson. Jared Wilson, he's a pure center, though.
Yeah,
that's the catch. Dylan Fairchild still up here. Luke Kandra still up here.
Luke Kandra, I like.
I mean, it might be a little early for him at this point. Dylan Fairchild, it might be a little early. Jackson Slater, it might be a little early. I think we might have missed the boat on the guards. We might have to wait until later on and to get the best value.
Yeah. All right, yeah. But if I put Ozzie Trapillo up there,
he's going to win.
Is it redundant? We just got Ursary. And we got him in the second. All right. I got Chris Paul. What about Jonas Sanker? We did grab Kevin Winston.
I would put, here's where I would start taking some of these edge rushers too.
All right, what do we got?
Ashton Gelati from Louisville. Really, listen, he's like a solid B across the board. Very good, effective versus the run. Has a good pass rush bag, not elite. Think he's got the upside to be a real player in the league. Sevion Jones, love Sevion Jones. He's everything that we hoped Michael Clemens would be already. Tough, big, strong, effective versus the run. You can move him inside and pass sets to rush from the inside.
So give me one.
Oh man, I think by my ratings and my grades, I have Gelati rated a little higher. I think Sevion Jones might be the better fit for the Jets.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Sevion Jones. All right.
Yep.
All right. So I got Chris Paul and Sevion Jones. What do you think? We just drafted Kevin Winston. You want to throw Sanker up there?
You could throw Sanker and you could throw Kyle Williams, who's still on the board.
All right. I like it. I like it. You know where Ricky from New York. I know where you're voting, buddy. The poll is up. Now we're into the 2-minute range. So you can't dilly-dally, my friends. You're like, I don't know. I'm going to think about this for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Well, you're 14 seconds late. You got to get it in 2 minutes now. That's the way it goes. And while we're doing that, thank you, Ron. Big fella checking in. Give me Dylan Sampson, Dom.
You like those big home run hitter type running backs, huh, big fella?
He wants a running back. We got to start looking at those guys. See what's going on here. How many picks we got left here, Dom?
We got a lot. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we got 5 in the kicker. I will designate 236 to your kicker, GreenBean.
There you go.
We have 11 picks, so I'll give you that one today. Now, I see a lot of people here talking about Elijah Roberts. I love Elijah Roberts. I absolutely do. He's a top 50 player for me. He is on the board here. However, the poll's already up. I didn't see him because Mock Draft Database has him listed as a defensive tackle when he's really not. He's an edge rusher that also can play tackle. So I hear you guys. Elijah Roberts definitely would have been my choice over Sevion Jones.
That's not what you told me.
That's right.
All right.
You're right.
He didn't tell us, Dom, and he has excuses and reasons for it. Whether or how valid they are, we'll never know. But anyway, Pete DeTraglia says, what about a linebacker? Well, I got one up there for you, Pete. There he is. Grab your guy. Remember, this is a short poll, man. We're in the 2-minute realm. So you got to get your votes in. We got 59 right now, and we still have over 200 hanging out on YouTube. Wow, X is picking up too. So we got 160 on X.
Yes, I love it.
But you got to get your votes in on the YouTube crew. So let's do it. Right now, we have it's a little close. I'm ending the poll. You got 3, 2, 1. Oh, one more vote came in. That's nice. All right, good. So it's going to be Kyle Williams. Look at us.
It's the first non-A+ pick that we've gotten.
Really? Look
They
at them. They didn't like it.
They gave us a B+. So I think from this point on, GreenBean, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. We can go 3 bangers, man.
Yeah, 3 bangers supreme. That's what we call it.
3 banger supreme. So
that's right.
We're up at 145. Elijah Roberts on the board. I suggest that we take him, my friend.
All right. How about this? Is Sevion Jones still there?
He's not. But Roberts is really an edge, so he takes the place of Sevion Jones.
All right. What are we looking at in the linebacker room, Dom?
The linebacker room, Jack Kaiser.
Oh, I like Jack Kaiser.
Yeah,
oh, wait, pick 145, you said? Is that where we are?
This is pick 145. Smail Mondin, I don't know if I like him this high. I think he's really a projection guy. He's got a lot of, the physical skills don't really match, or that the IQ doesn't match the physical skills yet. So he's really a project guy. So I would probably, of these guys here, I like Jack Kaiser the best.
Yep, I got him. Let's look at there
interior.
You
Let's go to the interior. Dylan Fairchild is a true guard. He's your pipeline guy. I love that.
So let me ask you, so we bring him in this year, and we're getting rid of one of Simpson or AVT next year. You feel confident with Fairchild coming in?
I absolutely do. I think Fairchild could, in a pinch, he could play this year. He's not terrible. He's, those Georgia linemen are legit. But I like the idea of really building that pipeline and having somebody sit and learn and get NFL strong and get ready. Do what the good teams do, right?
That's right. Imagine that. There are teams doing things that do well every year. Let's do that too, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel, damn it.
Yeah. So did you put the poll up yet or no?
I got the 3-banger going. I got Fairchild, Kaiser, and Roberts. Here it comes. And your 2-minute timer begins now, everybody. So let's get them in there. Sam Aiken checking in, Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Says, would you consider using Kyle Williams for kick and punt returns if Belton is on? Put him in.
But Kyle Williams would definitely be a force on specials as a returner.
Can he be? Sure. But here's the question: can he be an upgrade over Xavier? Whatever the fuck is Gibson? Because I really like him. I think he's solid. I think he's really one of the better return men in the league. So we got.
Do you really think that?
Yes, I absolutely think that. So if we can't upgrade over Xavier Whip, I mean, dude, look at him. He's every single game he lights it up. He's got huge returns, touchdowns. The guy's amazing. So we got to make sure if we're gonna bump somebody, you got to be better than Xavier Gibson. He's got to at least look. I only want 5 fumbles or less.
I think Jeremy Cravat could be better than Xavier Gibson. How's that?
Oh my God. Please upgrade over this guy, damn it. 2 years, we just watched this team, their loyalty mechanism. It's crazy. I love the idea of Kyle Williams being our return man. I love it.
Yeah. Me too, my friend.
This draft is shaping up to be a pretty damn good final mock.
Exactly, a banger right here, man.
Yeah, boy. Thank you, Sam. Jake checking in. The offensive line is better by default with no Keith Carter. I believe
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Look, we don't know what the new guy's going to do. Most recently a tight end coach. He has been an offensive line coach before. But it's so we don't know. It's an X factor. But I think, addition by subtraction without question, Dom. And it sounds like you agree.
I agree.
All right, this one's done. Looks like we're adding ourselves an edge in Elijah Roberts, Dom C.
So, fun fact, GreenBean, the Jets have done a lot of homework on Elijah Roberts. Not only did they meet with him at the Shrine Bowl, they attended his pro day. They met with him there as well. They even went as far as doing background work with his college coaches and his high school coach. Elijah Roberts is he's a plus run defender right from the jump. He is he's a power rusher, doesn't bend, doesn't really, get around the outside edge of the, not going to beat you with speed or bendiness or twitchiness, but he will run right through you. And he will set a solid edge, and he can rush from the inside as a defensive tackle next to Quinn Williams on pass sets. I'm telling you, Elijah Roberts is really, really good. And I'm glad he's a Jet.
There you go. He's on our team. So we're moving it to we're moving this party to pick 162, Dom. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna reject those trades. And here we go, guys. We like the world's our oyster. We could put Dylan
let's
Fair.
take a look at some running backs, Dom.
Yeah, we could put Dylan Fairchild on there.
Okay.
He's still there. We still need an interior guy.
We do. I really hope they think like us, Dom. That's what I'm really hoping this year.
Yeah. RJ Mickens, fan favorite. Now's the time to go get him.
All
Another
right,
safety, versatile.
Okay. What about our running backs? Let's see what we got. Let's see what's floating around.
Byshaw Tootin, super fast, very good in the pass game. Has had some trouble holding on the ball. I think he's got 11 fumbles in his career.
Oof, I can't.
Can't
do it.
Yeah, Brashard Smith is another really good, fast, third down kind of scat back type running back. Was a wide receiver that converted to running back. So he's got that skill set, kind of similar to what Tyrone Tracy for the Giants was, just not built the same. He's built a little bit smaller. So,
all right. So give me your guy.
Do you want a running back?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's throw one up there.
Well, you can choose between Smith or Tootin. Which one you want?
Oh, I'm not taking the guy with 11 fumbles. I just can't do it. It's against my religion. Brashard Smith.
Let's look at the quarterback room.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, not much here. Dylan Gabriel, not interested. Yeah, there's not very good here, GreenBean.
All right. Well, I'm going to drop this 3-banger into the chat here. The poll is up, everybody. And the timer has begun. And that gives me time to check in with our buddy Big Fella. He says, we averaged 92 yards rushing last year. Let's get a running back. Well, look at that. We just dropped one up there for you. Look, I think it's really important for not important, but I think it's logical from my vantage point. Judging the offense on anything except like dropped passes, like that kind of stuff, it's really difficult for me because we were clearly an inept offensive staff. I say it every week, somehow or another, it finds its way out of my mouth every single week. We were just talking about Keith Carter, but again, dude, I mean, we need look no further than the fact that they had 4 years here and we developed 0 offensive talent. 0. No offensive linemen. Joe Douglas took plenty. No wide receivers. Joe Douglas took plenty. A couple in the second round. We couldn't even keep him on the team. We had to trade him. Bring in free agents with names on them. Mike Williams. What's the other guy? The guy from the Chiefs. What the hell is that wide receiver?
Mecole Hardman.
Mecole Hardman. Bring him in as free agent signings halfway through the season. Can't even keep him on the team. They got to go. We had to trade them both. So, tight ends, not only did we not develop any, but they regressed here. You know what I mean? So, again, when you look at the running backs and the running game and all, I just find it very difficult. I really like our stable. Not to say we can't add one in the late rounds. I'm totally fine with it. But Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis, I'm very happy with that running back stable. And let's go into this year and use them, pound them, because they're good in the passing game too.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All 3 of them. Dylan Fairchild cleans it up, Dom C.
I love it.
Got ourselves an interior offensive lineman, big fella. What do you think about that? Ought to help the run game.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this one up here. I think there's a good question here from Rico the Pup.
There you go.
Have you guys had a look at Caleb Ransaw? I think he can be a backup at nickel and safety, maybe someone for the later rounds. As a matter of fact, Rico, I have very in-depth. I really like Caleb Ransaw. He was one of my selections in my final What Would Dom C Do mock draft in the 5th round for the reason that you clearly state right here. We signed Isaiah Oliver. We brought him back, and right now he's our only backup slot cornerback, and he's got some safety versatility. I think Ransaw could kind of step in and do that. I don't know if he's a guy who's starting right away, but he's the pipeline guy. You don't, and again, what Ransaw does what a lot of our defensive backs didn't do last year. It's a phenomenal tackler, right? He is a sure tackler.
Yeah.
He's a guy that is versatile, can play the post, can play slot, but he's going to fit the run very well. So I really like Ransall. He had a great week down in Mobile. He's a guy that I honed in on him in round 5 in my last mock draft.
There you go. There you go, everybody. Rico. All right, pick 186. What are we? All right, so this is what do we got? 3 left?
We got 3 left. We got 2 and a kicker.
2 and a kicker.
We got 2 and a kicker, and we've hit every single need that we have. We can start doubling up wherever we want.
Yeah. We doubled up at wide receiver. We got a tackle and an interior offensive lineman. Let's take a look at them there tight ends, Dom C. And we got to look at linebackers too.
Yeah, we don't have. I mean, we can double up on the defensive line. Tight ends, you have Jalen Conyers, is one of my favorite late round selections. Mitchell Evans probably still shouldn't be on this board. He would be a real good compliment to Tyler Warren, if I'm being honest, because Mitchell Evans is more block first and catch second. Not that he's a bad receiver, but he's definitely more known for his inline blocking prowess.
Yeah, we could use it as long as he can catch, man. As long as legitimately, you know what I mean?
But I think it'd be a really good compliment to Tyler Warren.
I like it.
Defensive lineman interior here. You still got some big guys. Cam Jackson, who we talked about before. Yeah, I'm not really big on either of the Notre Dame guys, to be honest with you. The edge, Baron Sorrell, he's not going to – I mean, I think you have to consider him here. He won't be on the board at this point. He's a round 3 guy in my books.
All right, let's look at the running backs.
Yeah.
I got Cam Jackson up there.
Okay. You got Trevor Etienne. You got Brashard Smith still there. Kyle Monungai, who the big fella really likes.
Yeah, let's throw him up there. Kyle
Monungai.
All right, there it is. There's our 3-banger supreme. Coming your way, everybody. The poll is up, and the timer has begun. Jake checking in says, so what you're saying is we've sucked on offense, Tom. I think that is what I might be saying. I didn't know. I didn't realize it. When I just keep spouting the truth, the facts, I come to that conclusion, Jake. Wait a second. We suck. Who knew? It's been crazy. I'll tell you, if you would have said it, right, man, we talked about this all. If you would have said Aaron Rodgers is starting every game, he's going to throw for 3,800 yards and 26 touchdowns, whatever the hell it was. Garrett Wilson's going to be there. The Jets are trading for Devontae Adams. There's no way in hell you couldn't have gotten me to believe that we would have only won 5 games. It's virtually impossible, I would have thought. What a disappointment.
It happened.
It happened. That was some real life shit, everybody. I can't believe it. So, yeah. So, all right, we got our running back up there. We got a tight end up there. We got defensive tackle up there. We are crushing this one. That's my thoughts anyway.
Yeah, man.
RB says we still need a linebacker. That's what I keep trying to say to everybody.
Yeah, and I just noticed we passed on RJ Mickens again. We probably should have put him up there.
Yeah, but we got a safety, so it's not like we abandoned. We ignored it, right? Linebacker, we got nobody, Dom. But like you said, Jamin Davis is here. We still got Zaire Barnes. So we don't know. We got we got the 2 starters, so it's not a glaring hole.
I would be I shouldn't say that. I would not be shocked if they bypassed the linebacker room altogether in this draft. I don't think it's the deepest class.
Yeah.
And B, knowing that they just paid Sherwood, I think they're going to consider paying Quincy, although I don't know if that's a lock. And if they do pass it, I think it'll tell you what they really think of Jamin Davis.
Well, right. I think
Zaire Barnes. We forgot about Zaire Barnes.
Zaire Barnes, right? He got hurt, halfway through the season, or actually pretty early. This one's going to be Mitchell Evans, Dom.
Mitchell Evans. All right. It's a guy that we haven't drafted. We
haven't drafted Mitchell. There's a few guys. There's a few guys here. Fairchild, Mitchell Evans.
Yeah. Man, we're cooking here at GreenBean.
We really are. This is fun.
And we're up again. 207. And then the last pick is the kicker.
Yeah, we'll see.
So dealer's choice here. Trying to see who else is here.
Well, let's put a running back up there again so we can do
You want Monungai?
I mean, unless you got a guy you prefer.
I like LaQuint Allen. I've talked to him.
Yeah, let's do it.
I've talked about him a bunch. I really think that he's a guy he was a good college player. I think he's going to be an even better pro. I think he'd be a good fit for this offense. I like him in an outside zone. Kind of plant his foot and get vertical. I think he can help in the pass game a lot more than Kyle Monungai. You want a linebacker? We could put a linebacker up there. No one here that I'm crazy about, if I'm being completely honest with you guys.
Wait, what'd you say? If you
I said if you want a linebacker, we could put a linebacker up here, but there's no one that I'm really crazy about. I think Lindenberg's good.
Yeah,
but, I mean, he's a depth guy. I mean, there's no one here that's really going to push for playing time. You're talking special teamers between Buchanan and Higgins and Lindenberg, Sean Dolek.
Yeah,
corner.
And it is what it is. What do we got floating around the cornerbacks?
Longer Beam is a slot guy. The Jets did bring him in for a visit. He was here for the local tryout, local day. Jason Marshall, I think, is a really good player. I think he's a good fit because he's a press man guy.
All right, let's grab him.
All right.
And so the linebackers are no good. Let's see. We got a running back up there. We got a cornerback up there. Let us dance around the defensive line a little bit more. Let's see,
Yeah. Baron Sorrell is a guy that is this is a great pick if you get him here. You're not going to get him here, but he's here now. So Q Robinson, very interesting. Was never a starter at Alabama, but he knows how to get at the passer, man. He's got a lot of Will McDonald in his game. He's smaller, he's lighter, but he's bendy. He's like Gumby. He can get at the quarterback.
So who we does? You want Baron Sorrell?
I would prefer Baron Sorrell, but I'd be okay with Hugh Robinson also.
I'll put Baron Sorrell up there. They're both there.
Yeah.
So that's our 3-banger. Unless we want to add one more of our final pick before we get into some special teams. We got a running back, a cornerback, an edge rusher. I think we're good.
Yeah, let's go. Let's ride it. Let's run it back.
All right, guys. This is the final pick before we start entertaining kickers. The timer is about to start. There it goes. It's official. And while we're doing that, I'm going to put Ron Weiss's super chat up there. Thank you, Ron. Rutgers have had decent running backs in the past. Ray Rice was good until he abruptly took up Elevator UFC. Yeah, that was a big mistake on his part, I have to say. That shit ended quick for him. I think rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, man, I mean, look, I we joke about it all the time, but I'm not a big fan of drafting Rutgers guys. I think it's just few and far between. We did have Westerman. He was a decent linebacker for us, and he had a nice career. He played 4 or 5 years after us too. So he had a career, and it's not to say that it can't happen, but look, I'm all about Rutgers pride and all that shit, but this is the Jets. Let them go to the Chiefs if they're going to try to succeed. They ain't fucking succeeding here, man. You know what I mean? It's too much negatives. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I struggle with it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy.
I struggle with it. Who's your big Rutgers guy this year? Who is it again?
Holland Pierce.
There he is.
The tackle. Right here. He's right in front of us, as a matter of fact.
Oh, look at that.
6'8", 330 some odd pounds. He's got 36 1/4 inch arms.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He is a big MFer. Reminds me a lot, Green Bean. Do you remember what was the year you came down to the Senior Bowl Mobile? Do you remember the offensive tackle from Ohio State that year? I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember his name.
Wasn't that oh geez, hold on. He's right on the tip of my tongue.
He went to Cleveland.
Yeah, oh man, I could not Steen. Wait.
DeJuan Jones, yes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the big guy we all wanted to draft him.
He reminds me a lot of DeJuan Jones because he's big, he's long, he's hard to get around, but man, is his feet slow.
All right, we are grabbing ourselves our first cornerback of the draft.
Jason Marshall won, huh?
Marshall, yeah. Look at us.
Listen, it's a great scheme fit. For you guys who don't know Jason Marshall, he's long, he's physical, he's press man through and through. He's exactly what the doctor ordered in a Wilkes and AG scheme.
There you go. Now I'll tell you what, if you can start getting guys in the 6th and 7th round that in a year or two turn around and develop into something, you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The first thing, scheme fit's a good place to start, Dom C.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. Here's Jake. I saw Jake making fun of me in the last stream with you and Ryan about my Rutgers. F him. He's from Rutgers. I don't want him. Yeah.
Right. This is the last pick of the draft, guys.
All right, let's look at some special teams.
Ugh. They got all of them.
Dom C. We don't need no kicker. All right, here we go. Who we got? We got Borregales. I'm going to do a whole kicker.
Yeah, Borregales, Fitzgerald, or Sauls.
Yep. Fitzgerald or Ben Sauls, right? Ben, I think it is, right? Isn't
yes.
it Ben? Yeah. All right, guys, it's up. Pick your kicker.
I refuse to vote on this one, by the way.
No, get in there. You're so stubborn. Come on, show some love.
If it comes, I will always pick the Latin kicker, man.
Really? That's your. It's like Polynesian linemen.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to have one of them. Those guys, they mean business. All right, who's this? Cadoza checking in with a comment here. Where'd it go? I see it. Hold on, Cadozy. It's good to see you, Cadoza. It says Stiggers and Marshall are perfect developmental outside cornerbacks. What do you think?
I think in this scheme, Marshall by far. Don't be surprised if you see Stiggers move to free safety.
You like that move?
I do. I think you need some depth there. I don't, he was drafted by this last regime, who really, really focused in on, cover 4 off-man zone coverage. I'm not sure if Stiggers is the type of cornerback. He's not big enough. He's not physical enough. He's not schooled in press. And I said it from the jump. I thought Stiggers eventually might turn into a free safety. Don't be surprised if you see him do that with this regime.
I'd love it. I mean, I'd love to see that guy make it. It was an interesting pick, man. And it's one of those things like now that regime, clearly they fell in love with him, right? They got the security guard on the phone. He's crying. That fucking guy. He's like, I knew you were going to, it's so tough. It's like, what are we even talking about? Nobody's even heard of this guy. And it's like, okay, that's great. He would have been a guy that they kept on the team no matter how bad he sucked. You know what I mean? Because he's a Xavier Gibson kind of a thing. But who knows what these guys think of him? The good news with Stiggers is he's got the work ethic.
You're right.
He's the kind of guy going, tell me what to do, boss. Coach, what do you need me to do? And that bodes real well. So I like him for that reason.
This guy came into the NFL through the fan league, which was like an arena fucking league.
Crazy.
He dropped out of school to support his family.
Yeah, you got to love all the stuff. I mean, I do get it. But at the end of the day, like I will forego the tearjerker for a guy who can actually do some shit on the field. Now, if he can do it, great. But I'm all about it, man. If they put him at safety and whatever the fuck it takes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ablab checking in and says, "Pick the kicker, damn it." Well, here we go, Ablab. It looks like it's going to be Borigalis.
Yes.
I'm surprised.
Are you?
He would be my third out of the three.
I don't know a thing about him, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, well, the Borigalis it is. Doesn't matter my word. My word is the bird, dude. Nobody cares. It's about you guys in this motherfucker. Thank you, Ablab. You're the man. He's 100% today. He got us a defensive tackle. What else did he do? Got us a kicker.
Yeah.
Got us some likes, some milk thumbs.
So here's our draft, guys. Couple trade backs, a small one to start, and then a bigger one in the second round. But we ended up with tight end Tyler Warren at 10. Ariante Ursary, the right tackle, or left tackle, or right tackle, at that pick 58 out of Minnesota. Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver from Iowa State. They kept that pipeline flush, and he fell to 72, and we jumped all over that. Alfred Collins, the big fatty, in the middle next to Quinton Williams at 73. Kevin Winston, the steal of the draft, if I do say so myself, at 89. Kyle Williams at 110 here in the fourth round. Elijah Roberts, the defensive end, listed as the defensive lineman, defensive end at 145. Your pipeline guard of the future, Dylan Fairchild at 162. Mitchell Evans, nice competition for Jeremy Ruckert for that tight end 2/3 spot out of Notre Dame at 186. Jason Marshall, some cornerback depth, some true cornerback depth at 207. And then the kicker.
All right. Jake in there saying we don't have any clue about the kickers. I beg to differ. I think kicker is the easiest to nail down. You know what I mean? Like,
tell Herm Edwards that.
Oh. Or Bradway, whoever really pulled the trigger on that great pick. But it's like, I mean, look, you got to look at things like leg strength, accuracy, but it's like where they're kicking, right? Climate, are they kicking outside? Are they dome kickers? Or, you know what I mean? Like not dome, but you know what I mean? Depending on cold weather, those kinds of things. You got to factor that all in when you're looking at a kicker. But the truth is, man, kicking's kicking. I do like, yeah, look, they got to be able to make, or do they have tendencies from one hash or the other? That kind of stuff. Like, who was it? John Hall. I think it was the left. If he was on the right hash, it made me sick to my stomach. Like I would always say, dude, whatever you got to do, just, that play before, run to the left. So he's on the left hash. Like if he's on the right hash, he was just so much, he was like his accuracy, at least how I remember it. It fell off a cliff. So, those kinds of things. But Dom, let's talk. So guys, it's your letter grade time. I'll put Isaac's super chat up here, but let us know what you think. A to F. We'll put your letter grades up here, and then Dom will give his and then mine as well. Isaac says, great end to the best part of the offseason, the Monday Night Mock. Well, thank you, Isaac.
Yes.
And we're glad you're here to hang out with us. And we're glad you enjoy it, man. This is fun for us. So, if you guys, get out, get the same thing out of it, that just tickles me. I love it. Let's see here. So Harley checking in first with the letter grade says A, solid A. Look at Gitmo Bob with an
Holy
A.
shit, Gitmo Bob gave an A.
That's about, this might be the first A I've seen
ever
from Gitmo Bob.
Yeah.
This is historic, Bob. This is good stuff. Isaac says A is the only right answer. Bradigan says, I've been watching the Monday Night Mock since its birth, and this is the best one I've seen. Fuck, or I added a profanity there for you, Bradigan. I don't know why. Fantastic. A+. Can't wait for the real thing. The real thing this Thursday night, man. Talking Jets Network live for the whole draft, guys. Billy SBC coming in with an A. Man, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Jason Zayas with an A++. Cadoza with an A+. Ablab says A++. A talking head said teams watch these mocks. That's right. I heard that. Well, guys, I hope Mooj is watching this one. All we did was a little tiny trade back action. Look, slid to what? 10. Then we did some
back from 42 to 58.
Yep, did a little second round trade, made some noise, made it happen, and got ourselves the meat of our draft happened to be in with the meat of the draft.
Correct.
That's the smart money, everybody. So there you go.
From 50 to 100, man. That's where the value is in this draft.
Gotta love it. Gotta get some extra capital in there. Jake says, I've never graded better than a B- this year. This one was an A for me early, and we didn't cheat and take Carter at 10. I like it, right? We were all nervous. RB checking in, A+. Dom, is this draft realistic in terms of trade backs and player availability? What do you think?
In trade backs, I think the value was right on. I think to go from 10 to 7, it'll cost a third rounder. Listen, truth be told, that Texans trade, I don't know if you're getting a 7th and a 6th on top of it. You would probably be satisfied going back and getting a late third, but for the most part, I think the value is right there.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff, RB. Hank G checking in says A-. Yeah, what's that minus? Danger Zone with an A. Pete DeTraglia with an A. Infrared furious with the AFC East. Where's your grade, Infrared? Cadoza, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 2 defensive. I know, man. We nailed it. Let's see here. Braden says, if you give less than an A, you're wrong. You gotta love it. That's funny. Yeah, Enrico says, if this was the draft, Mooj and Glenn would get extensions. Yep, I love it. Let's get bearded VT with an A+. Love the mock. Glad we picked a different sim. I know. I think that was fun too. That was a good move, Dom.
It was Bearded's call, not ours.
Yeah, well, he coming back in. I think on the back end, I think it was a good move. There you go, Bearded. Well, thank you, buddy. Rico the Pup with an A+. Curly Norman with a B for my birthday that ends in 14. Well, happy birthday to Curly Norman. Drop some love in the chat. Give some hearts and all that kind of stuff. Green hearts for Curly Norman. Looks like he might be turning 50 today. All right. Congrats. Happy birthday, Curly. Let's see. Where's the grades? Zachary Berner says this is one of the most perfect drafts to fix our Jets, and it's a rare A+ for me. Great job. See you guys on Talking Jets for all 3 days. Right, Zach? Well, that's so awesome that we ended with the positive. You got an A+ out of Zachary Berner for the first time. I love it. Evzoni, or Evzoni, A. Nice. Chris Byers says A+. Love you guys. Dom C and GreenBean. Everyone in here is phenomenal representations of New York Jets fans, people, and fans. Dom C, GreenBean, incredible New York Jets content. Hope the best for our Real Thing Thursday. That's the thing, right, Chris? The Real Thing on Thursday. Gitmo Bob says, I tried hard to justify a B, but I couldn't. It was that good. That's saying something. Donker Sloot with an A. David Bruce. What's up, Dave? Good to see you, bud. Normally I give a B or B+, but I really like this mock, so it's an A++++ for me. Nice. Gavin Boning says A+. Nice, Gavin. Infrared finally drops his grade with an A because Brother Dom C got us a fucking kicker. There you go. I love it. Extinguished the Guilt says GreenBean and Dom C are the best. A+. Beefy with an A-. Well done, gents. You used common sense and traded down. Half the team is potentially rebuilt. Just like that. Just like that. I love it. Let's see. Yeah, 5 legitimate starters. Let's see. I think that's the end of the grades. All right. We got a letter H from Cadoza. That's good.
For how many?
All right, so there's the grades. Ron Weiss with an A+, Ablab with a bunch of green hearts. That's for Curly Norman's birthday, I imagine. Yeah, Ron Weiss, best of the year. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to you guys. I don't know why I'm saying thank you.
Yeah, it really was the best overall draft that we've had throughout this whole mock draft 10 o'clock mock season. Hands down.
This was something else. So Dom, Jake says we killed this one. Happy draft week. Yeah, right on, Jake. And thank you for the support, buddy. What's your letter grade, bud?
Oh, excuse me.
No sweat.
There's no doubt this is an A+. If you come out of here with this haul, you're not missing anything, man. There's not one pick that I said, "Oh, I wish," Yeah. Like, listen, I mean, I pined for Kevin Winston for 2 straight picks, and it still ended up. I pined for him at 72 and 73. We got him at 89. You guys wanted Kyle Williams earlier. We got him at 110. Right. Elijah Roberts, I think, is a real value there at 145. Even guys like Mitchell Evans and Jason Marshall make sense. Like,
I like those on the back end.
This draft makes sense to me. That's the one thing. It's all make-believe. We know the mocks are all make-believe. They're all scenarios and exercises. But this one actually really, kind of the puzzle fits like a jigsaw. Perfect.
Yeah. Right on. And I know, look, we can gripe about which simulator is whatever. Like, the truth is they're all unrealistic, man. Like, every single year, it's completely different than, the first round, as we go through the rounds, it just starts to separate. Nobody knows. And they're all pretty off. It's like PFF, you grab a guy and it's like he's clearly a first round talent. And they're like F. It's like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, just as unrealistic sometimes. So, the sim is the sim is the sim. That's why we don't really use all the time. Like, you don't say, well, look, we want Kevin Winston here at 73, but they have him at 115, so we know we can wait. Like, that's bullshit. Like, if you do that, you're just cheating. You're fooling yourself. We go by our own thoughts, our own grades. Sometimes they slip and move and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. But we don't use the sim to get the best draft. You know what I mean? And that's
You wanted to take Abdul Carter.
I didn't want to take him. I just wanted him to. He's up there. You can't exclude him. That's just crazy. No, we didn't. I put him up there.
Yeah, the chat is good. The chat said, "Fuck you, GreenBean." We're not taking that guy.
Fuck you, Dom C. You were saying that we can't put him up there because he's a guaranteed lock. I said you gotta put him up there, and they'll still do the right thing, and they did. They did it. They did it. We can trust the chat, Dom. That's what they're doing.
This one was really good, guys. This one was really, really good, man.
Yep. So I'm going to tell you, I also think it is an A+. I love I love the top end. Tyler Warren. I'll be honest with you. The one wart for me is Ursery. I forget who was there. I might have gone.
Trapillo was there.
Yeah, I might have.
Sabaya Nea was there.
Yeah. Like, there were some other guys at different positions. I think I would have gone the other, but then I think it was Higgins I would have taken. He slid a little bit. But anyway, I just think it's such a slam dunk. Like, the top end is so good. We got starters all over the place. But I really think the beauty of this is on the back end. Yeah. With guys that I really think are developmental guys that, that can actually develop into something. Again, contingent upon our coaching. We have to assume right now. So I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to suspend any judgment and just, believe. So I like it. Mitchell Evans, Dylan Fairchild, Elijah Roberts, Kyle Williams. I really like that section of this draft. So I'm really excited. Jake checking back in. This is the one time everybody is happy, I think.
You're right. I think you're right. I think you're right, Jake.
What a great comment, Jake. Dom, I think he nailed it. Nobody's saying this is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm telling you, this is peace and love.
Where's that one guy who always says F minus? What's his name?
Oh, what's the guy? How come I can't remember his name? It's always red. not Carson. I can't. If I see it, I'd know it right away. But yeah, he says you guys don't know ball. That one every time. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's good. Send this one to me, Dom, if you didn't already.
Did.
Nice.
Did.
Dom's very efficient, everybody.
Yeah.
So there it is, Dom. The end. Overall, this mock season, how you feeling? What do you got? Any thoughts? Party words?
Kareem Carson. There it is.
There it is. Is he here?
No,
Or somebody
Curly
said
put
it.
it up there.
Nice, Curly. Yeah, that's him. F minus. You guys don't know ball.
Yeah. So it seems a bit, I know this sounds really, really outlandish, but it seems surreal that the draft season is coming to an end because it started so early for me. You know what I mean? It starts in August and September. So for real, it seems a little bit it seems a little bit surreal. But I'm just happy. I'm happy to see what happens. And truth be told, as long as it's not like Shamar Stewart at 7, I'm gonna be content with whoever gets taken. I just hope that Muji and AG get it right, man.
Yeah. I could not agree more. And I like the name that you brought up. Like I like to call him, the shiny thing, right? It's like, dude, just settle down, take the right pick. You know what I mean? You don't need to overthink this. There's a nice batch of options. If you can get a nice little trade back, great. If you can't, there's a nice chunk of players right there. If you take one of them, you're going to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Don't overthink it. Be smart. Don't get nuts. And let's get some solid players for the New York Jets, and let's get Aaron Glenn going.
I was talking about this on Ryan's show with him earlier. This is the draft that I think, we listen, the team is void of depth at a lot of positions. We're void of starters at a lot of positions with this year or next. This is not the year to go pick up the big, shiny, heavy bat and try to swing and hit one out of the park.
Right.
Hit a bunch of singles. Go get yourself a bunch of singles and score runs that way. Build the foundation. I'm much more content with higher floor guys in this one that have low bust probability than taking the big swing and seeing what happens. 2020, Joe Douglas. He's on the board. You have the solid single in Tristan Wirfs. And he took the big bat out and he said, "Go big or go home, motherfuckers." And he swung for Mekhi Becton. And yes, Mekhi Becton injured. We don't know what he could have been, this, that, the other thing. But it just was it's the perfect example of trying to do too much when the right selection was staring you right in the face. I want to see Muji make a bunch of the right decisions, even if it's guys or positions at the time that I don't think is right. Like, I think that he's going to get a lot of grief if he doesn't go offense, 1, 2, and 3. And I think there's a good possibility that he doesn't do that. So I think some of the Jets fans are not going to be very happy. But, if he ends up with, just like Leger Douzable said in his mock, if he ended up with Darius Alexander in round 2, I mean, I happen to love him. I'm not going to be upset. But that's a safe pick. That's a guy that you're going to come in, you're going to get 4 or 5 years minimum of really, really good productive play right off the bat. That's a good single double. You know? Don't swing for the fences.
I like it. I subscribe to this to similar thinking. It's not the year to take that risk. Fill these holes with solid guys that you have the best possible chance to contribute, and if they never reach the ceiling, like you said, I love it. The floor isn't as low as some of the guys that you'll swing for the fences and go home holding a bat that hasn't connected to anything, So I really like what you just said. I agree. Let's just start filling out this roster. We got a nice core of talent on here. Let's fill it. Let's support this Justin Fields experiment as best we can. Let's give him the best chance to be that next young quarterback that gets the resurgence, the revitalization. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's commit and do it. Like you said, Tristan Wirfs, Mekhi Becton is a great example of that. Fighting, it was great, but the right pick was right there. You know what I mean? It was sitting right there.
Yeah, and truth be told, since you brought it up, I'm on record. Like, I'm not the hugest Justin Fields fan. Like, I'm not banking on a resurgence. This Baker Mayfield turnaround. But we have no idea what this coaching staff is. So, am I willing to bet that we're going to have the next Baker Mayfield on our hands? No, but am I willing to bet that it's am I open-minded to the idea that the coaching staff just might be able to coach and develop some of these guys? We haven't seen that, at least on the offensive side of the ball, since what? Who was the last coach where we actually developed some offensive players?
Oh, I mean, dude,
it wasn't Adam Gase. It sure wasn't solid. It wasn't Adam Gase.
No, and then you look at Bowles. I mean, he got a bunch of old men in here, not old men, but Brandon Marshall, Decker, Ivory, all those guys were given him. And it was a nice team.
Yeah.
But he didn't develop. He lost.
Mangini?
I mean, well, could you say Rex didn't really develop anybody offensively either?
No, I mean,
that team was here when he got here.
Except for Sanchez.
Yeah,
right?
Well, can you say he was developed?
Yeah, probably not.
Right? I mean, any of the young receivers they brought in, they didn't amount to anything. Koch was here. They traded for Bray. They traded for Santonio Holmes. Brad Smith, he was here when Rex got here. That whole team was here. I mean, they rounded it out. Don't get me wrong. But the core was here. I mean, Mangini developed some guys.
Yeah, Coslet? I mean, are we going back to the fucking 80s?
Yeah, we don't develop talent, man. It's very rare, especially offensively.
Hey, did you hear, by the way, that John Abraham is the one who's going to be making the selections at the podium for round 2 and 3?
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it does, look, this happens. How so consistently blows my mind. But they tend to pick, like when Chad's up there, he picks a quarterback. When Mangold's up there, they pick a lineman. How do they do that?
When who was it that picked future Pro Bowler Elijah Moore?
Yeah, that was Bilal Powell, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Bilal Powell.
Wait, future Pro Bowler
Elijah Moore. It's on your.
Yeah, I know.
Intro.
I'm trying to think. I think it's Bilal Powell. Maybe no. Bilal Powell picked Michael Carter.
Bilal Powell picked Michael Carter. Who picked future Pro Bowler Elijah Moore? Somebody. Lavernius Coles. Was it Lavernius Coles?
Maybe. But
well, when you run it, we'll see it.
Yeah, we got to watch it now.
Yeah.
Ron Weiss checking back in says, "Can you guys explain the whole Nico deal, please? What is that?"
Nico Iamella. Are you talking about the quarterback from Tennessee who transferred? Did you hear about this?
No.
So Nico Iamella. He's probably arguably the best quarterback in the 2026 draft. Next year's draft. He's up there with Sellers from South Carolina, with Drew Allar, Nessmeyer. He's one of the guys that are, that on paper looks like a really, really good quarterback class. So he didn't show up or didn't go to spring practices and didn't play in the spring game. And he told Tennessee, I want some more NIL money. And they said, well, you're already making $3 million. I want more. And they didn't say anything. And he then supposedly his dad shopped him around to all these other schools. And Dan Lanning, who's the coach at Oregon, called the coach of Tennessee and said, hey, listen, Nico's dad is out here soliciting his son for more money. You might want to do something about that. So Tennessee moved on from him.
Really?
And he ended up entering the transfer portal, and now he's the UCLA quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy town. Crazy. This
NIL is
weird out
weird,
there.
man. The
Yeah.
NIL is weird, man.
Yeah, and I think they should make money. You know what I mean? I really do, but you got to do it the right way. It's got to be contained. You know, it's got to be done properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, the fact that these schools, they make millions and millions of dollars on these guys, and a lot of them, dude, they're never going to have NFL careers. They leave college and they go to be a car salesman or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they were stars and they made all this money for the school and they get nothing. So I think it's good for them to. I think they should. It's on they're the draw. But it's got to be done in the right way.
But some of these guys are making, like, they said Sanders made $4 million last year. Shador, Carson Beck transferred from Georgia to Miami for $6 million. Arch Manning's making $6 million a year at Texas.
It's like going to the NFL. That first contract, they're like, it's not even a big deal anymore.
Yeah, that's why do you think kids are staying?
Yeah,
they get paid more to be in college. Fuck,
and it's a comfort zone.
Yeah, man.
They're the fucking big fish in a small pond, so to speak,
Yeah.
Extinguish the Guilt, wrapping us up with a new StreamBeaner membership. Thank you, my friend, for the support. And that's going to do it. Welcome aboard, my friend. That's going to do it for us. I love to end on that, Extinguish the Guilt. I genuinely, sincerely appreciate that. But yeah, man, that's going to do it, Dom. It has been a true pleasure, my friend.
Pleasure's all mine, dude. Pleasure's all mine. I mean it wholeheartedly and sincerely. It's always an honor to be on this show. This show in particular, even though it's short, even though it only lasts from February to April, this one means a lot. It's a lot of fun. Not only to be with you, GreenBean, we have a good relationship, but the interaction with the chat in this live stream is like no other.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
It is.
Man,
it is.
It really is. Well, I love that you feel that way. I feel the same way. And guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Look, we'll see you I'll see you tomorrow night for the Talking Jets panel and all that jazz. But let's get excited because this is draft week. And Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Matt O'Leary, Ryan, myself, Talking Jets Network for the entire draft, our 6th consecutive year. We can't wait to hang out with you guys.
Those three guys are not going to shower until the last pick has been made.
That's right.
And they will not have pants on. So
the entire time.
That's
right. I like you. You're not supposed to tell everybody these secrets. These are trade secrets, everybody. But the guys, that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget about Dom's channel. It's right there in the top of the description. Show Dom some love. We will see you next time.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8.
Johnny Lamb Jones. Wide receiver. As a season ticket holder of the Jets, I'm going to fool Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't.
Fullback. Hello. Roger Vick. Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all about.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D.
Milner.
Dino Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold.
The New York Jets